Something big just happened. Pros like Mongrel, Benji, Fishy, Young Calc, many more pros are livid and threatening to expose players for cheating and using exploits to get tons of easy points to win thousands of dollars in the Winter Royale. Just wait until you see what I found with a little investigating. I honestly kind of feel bad for bringing this up because we are talking about some well-known players that are being accused. But if you're a cheater and exploiting to scam money from either Epic or other players that deserved it, I think it's right for people to know. But get all the information before you attack any of these people because it could be completely unintended and not their fault. But that may not be the case for all of them. Mongrel just tweeted out, "New kids were abusing this bug, you dog bleep players, I'm blocking all of you." And Calc, like many others, saying the same thing. So many people abused the point bug. And we'll talk with Calc in just a second. But why are so many pros angry about this? Well, they feel they had money literally stolen from them due to players using this bug to basically get into noob lobbies and then win because they got a ton of nearly free points. So I'll show you everything you need to know because Epic needs to definitely do something about this immediately. I'm your second favorite PE teacher, Denver. Hit like and subscribe right now for all Fortnite news and updates. And if you enjoy the video, consider using code thatdenverguyYT and hitting the noti bell. Now, Benji Fishy replied to Mongrel as well. More information is coming out. But first, what is this bug and how does it work? CRR said last day of Winter Royale and the winner of EU and NA East both had the bug which allowed them to get low elo massive kill games. What these pros are doing is finding a way to trick the game into thinking their points are low so they get matched with other low point players, resulting in easy wins and of course tons of free elimination points. So let's get right into what I believe to be a very sketchy situation. The biggest accusations going around right now and was added on Mongrel's tweet was Ghost Innocence, who I've only ever heard and seen good things from. My first thought was there's no way, he's an insanely talented player and wouldn't need to cheat or exploit to get high rankings, but I dug a little bit deeper and I did find some super sketchy stats with him and a few other high ranking pros. But please let me start this out with Innocence and his duo Agers. They could be completely legit. Let me be very clear about this. This is just the evidence we have in front of us. They might have just got lucky and rewarded for a problem that is caused by Epic, or they might have figured out how to consistently use this bug to get easier lobbies. But so then why would they not stream the event, but then even delete tweets later linking them to this exploit? I really hope Epic can clear the air on this because it doesn't look good. Innocence got first place on NA East, which is insane. He earned $4,000 from it. In the same day though, Innocence got 99th on NA West, 55th on Asia, and then even top 300 on Oceania. That was all in the same day. I mean, that's insane. Why do I show you all this though? Because their first and second day stats look very different compared to their third day stats, like we see with a lot of the unknown names popping up on the leaderboards who won a lot of money. NA West, day one, 90 points and 5.77 KD. They honestly did great. They're good players. Day two, for some reason, they played one game. They got 22 kills and first place, and then they stopped after that one game. Why would you stop after that? I don't know. That one game alone put them in the top 10,000, and they might have an easy answer for it. I don't know, but it's just a strange thing to do. Either way, they come back the next day on the third day and now have 9.25 KD, almost double from the first day. And across each region they played in, their stats skyrocketed almost randomly on day three. The accusers are saying it's because they are suddenly playing much easier players and getting easy placements. One of the biggest complaints is that they didn't stream their first place NA East win when they streamed most of the other games before it. Now, Innocence is deleting some tweets. I don't have any of them and they might mean nothing, but they were regarding some points and scoring issues where they were missing points through most or all of the games. His duo Agers just deleted this tweet admitting they had a points bug. Again, these are two talented players and this could be of no fault of their own, so just keep that in mind when you hear this. He said, people complaining about a point bug when without the points we were 7 points away starting 30 minutes late because of the first game. So we most likely would have won anyways. Also, a lot of teams got the bug and still didn't win. And again, this is now deleted. Maybe just too many people flaming him in the replies due to the accusations going around, but at BronosFN said this earlier. Innocence and Agers mysteriously were missing 20 to 30 points almost every single session. And I definitely remember Inno tweeting missing X amount of points in response to his tweets, but they're all deleted now. So, So this just further proves that something happened. But now the question is, did they do something to cause this to happen, or did they just get lucky with a bug and won thousands of dollars for it with a first place finish? And keep in mind, there are a lot of players whose names are being thrown in as well for exploiting this, but we're just taking a look at the biggest accusations going around right now. Destiny's Jesus said, played over 100 games and didn't get points bug once. Yes, some people got it multiple times on multiple regions, especially on the last day, and added, winning EU team were missing 71 points and got low elo lobbies the whole session. Actual joke. So again, we see this missing points problem being either intended or unintended. But here is the big thing in all of this that makes me worried. We have a lot of so-called pros just free farming points. At Nakiri, I'm not sure how to say it, said, wow, so apparently to get the glitched points, you had to switch regions after a game and then switch back to show you have 0 points again. Seems very intentional to me if you ask me. So to sum this up, if you are getting consistent bugged point lobbies, it is something you are doing to cause this. And I can show you this now. Winter Royale is over. Epic should have this fixed by the next tournament. So don't think that I'm like exposing how to do this and more players are going to do this. But did the players know this and then abuse this? Or were some players just wanting to see other regions' scores for some reason, even though they had either not started or they were completed? Like, why would they want to look at other regions' scores, right? This is where the lack of evidence comes in and why we cannot make direct accusations and something Epic needs to look into. Their logs and their files will most certainly show when players changed regions and how often and when they changed them back. The clear thing is that many players who could barely crack into the top 10,000 or cash placements now suddenly were almost winning. Smacks and his duo got second place and thousands of dollars on the third day with a 6 KD. But why then on the second day were they only able to get rank 7,650 and a 3 KD? Not to mention they didn't even play day one. Now here's where it gets crazy, and I don't mean to embarrass him here, but this is Smack's stats. His win percent in the last 7 days is 2% solo, 3% duo, and 5% win rate in squads, which, let's be honest, is low for a player that just won second in duos in all of NA East, which is regarded as nearly the hardest region in the world. Some of you are like, well, it's just public games. I understand that, but most other pros, even in just public games and on the stats on Fortnite Tracker, are well into like the 10s to 20s, even above that. He has a 3% duos win rate, but won second out of probably hundreds of thousands of people, many of which competed in the World Cup and maintain that like 25% win rate in pubs. Again, not full on proof, but just something Epic might want to look into, even if his duo does seem to have better and higher win rates. Now, TSM Cloud and Ghost Thwifo had around 30th place twice in a row, and then third place. That is expected, and they are consistently high, but down the list are seemingly unknown names, which mean nothing obviously to be known or unknown. But Young Calc pointed out to me a few names he had never heard of before, and he is pretty deep into the pro scene. Berserk and Brutal, who placed 9th with $1,400 apiece. Somehow the first 2 days they went from 38 points and 3.8 KD to 107 points with a 3.43 KD. Then on the last day, which honestly those stats aren't bad, but on the last day we see again and again, they earn 120 points and over a double KD at 6.42. What is going on, and why do we consistently see across the leaderboards players who are good? They played above average, we will give them that. Then on the final day, they double their KD and sometimes their points and win over $1,000 in the top 10. It just all goes back to that question though. Was this a bug on Epic's part that some players accidentally were rewarded with, or was this something players did intentionally to win and get some big stacks of cash? If you think that's unheard of, then you forgot every other 100 times players were caught cheating to gain money in Fortnite competitive tournaments. At Fasty on Twitter tweeted out a video, and I'll mute the audio to avoid copyright strikes, but he said, this is the guy that came second in console cash cup, by the way. Check this out and tell me what you think of this gameplay. So second place, thousands of dollars, and maybe you think he deserves it. I don't personally see it in this gameplay. Not saying he's like bad or anything. Okay, maybe he's a little bit bad, but we've seen console players that dominate, and how this guy got in with those top tier players, it just doesn't make sense, let alone win 2nd overall. Someone added another video of his gameplay. Check it out.
Thank you.
So again, I'm not going to say this player is a bad player, but you don't see top tier players in their region sit crouched in a corner and wait for someone to walk through a cabin door for a trap kill and like a 3-second delayed shotgun shot like we saw in probably like season 1, honestly, is what this reminds me of. But again, I just want to reiterate, this was apparently 2nd place, according to the video. 2nd place in an entire region. I don't know if he actually finished 2nd place overall, but I assume so. And if not, it was very close to it. Either way, to get that many points with this level of gameplay is a little confusing, to say the least. I asked Young Calc, because he knows the scene well and is one of the first accusers of this problem, if there was any known proof of all of this or just circumstantial evidence. He said, I have literally never heard of half the people top 24. It wasn't like that the past 2 days. I literally have never heard of them. And maybe you're thinking, well, that doesn't mean anything. But most pros have never heard of a lot of these guys making the top 10 and so on, which means they don't run into them in arenas at a high skill level. They aren't a part of the top level discords where the best players get into practice. They just came out of nowhere on the last day, and Calc added they were only there after points were later added. Calc later said to me that even if they didn't abuse the bug purposefully, it still played a part in those people placing high. Bumpa summed a lot of this up perfectly, saying even if people weren't purposefully glitching points, the bug still severely affected the results due to lobby difficulty. Pretty upset with how Winter Royale was run. Don't even care about the money. I just want to see this game at its full competitive potential. As I said earlier, I really didn't want to call anyone out specifically, but more of a force Epic to number 1, investigate the situation, and number 2, fix the problem, since this has happened before. Although I don't think it was to this degree where people were winning literally thousands of dollars. Still props to Epic, and I don't blame them or anything for this, since I don't think they knew about this problem and just chose like not to fix it or something. But if players are guilty though, I really hope it comes out. Innocence and his duos, they may not have done anything. Have I said that enough? I want to make that clear. Maybe they didn't do things purposefully, just like I was DM'd by Congarna's FN Lewis. Lewis is a great player, but he told me we had the glitch first game, and to be honest, because of it, we ended 5th. We didn't even play that good. Now I'm getting hate for something I didn't try to do. So something to keep in mind while we take a look at all this. Thank you, Lewis, for reaching out, and players like this might be receiving undue hate for something that was out of their control. Whereas, again, some players might have intentionally abused this, so it is just hard to say all around. Lewis added, the weird thing is, before we played, we were talking about how to do it. I said, yeah, I would rather we don't figure it out because I don't want what happened to Ziv like so much hate. So 2 things. 1 is people know how to do this and they do know how to abuse it. 2, it is confirmed a major problem at this point. We just don't know if it's intentional or unintentional. I think the worst thing to do though is to delete tweets like Innocence and Agers did. Like if I was innocent, no pun intended, I wouldn't be looking like I was trying to cover my tracks by hiding things if I didn't do anything wrong. I would flat out tell people what happened to me, and it's Epic's fault at that point. But if you try to delete things and hide, then it makes you look that much more guilty. Either way, I think that is it. I'm out of breath. Thank you guys for watching today, and remember to hit like and sub. Code thatdenverguyYT in the item shop and get that noti bell on for more videos first. Have a great Christmas, guys. If I don't see you before then, I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Love, Denver.